This is a quick video describing how to create a simple shader in ShaderFusion. I set up a simple scene with a sphere here. Right now it doesn't have a material applied to it, so I'm going to create a new shader. Rename that to video demo 01 and create a new material. Rename it. Now, to open up ShaderFusion, you go to Window, ShaderFusion, and to open up a shader, you click Open Shader, navigate to the shader's location, and right now it's an empty shader, so there's nothing in it. So the first thing we need to do is add a texture. I'm going to click on text with Xform. This allows you to change tiling and offset in the material easily. I'm going to name it main text and drag that to the diffuse slot and then save shader. Now on material, I'm going to click on the shader drop down, go to ShaderFusion and video demo 01. So now I've got this main texture slot, and I just click on the select button and I'm going to pick a brick texture. So now if we assign this material to our object, looks like that didn't take, so assign it again, and there it is. So we got a texture, but we need a normal map now because it's pretty flat. So I'm going to add another texture, call this bump map, and for normal maps you need a unpack normal node between the normal map and the normal input. So I'm just going to connect those two. Save. So once we assign the brick normal map into there, we get a pretty good result, but it's still way too shiny for brick. So we're going to add a specular map. So take a new texture, call this specular, and if we put this into the specular channel right now, we can control the amount of specular. I'll just assign the diffuse map into it for now. So it looks a little bit better, but we want to be able to control the amount of specular, so we'll multiply the specular output by a number. So we can take the multiply node, put the texture into A, and then we'll use a param float. This node actually allows you to adjust the material, or adjust the value within the material, as opposed to this number node, which is static in the shader editor. So we'll use this and we'll call it specular power, and drag that into B, and drag this into specular. You can also set a default value to it, so set it at 2 for now. The specular gets a little bit brighter, and if we change this, you can see that the specular gets brighter or darker. But right now it's looking, even with the specular down low, it's looking too glossy, like it's made out of plastic or something. So we need to adjust the glossiness. So to do that, we'll add another param float. Call this glossiness. Drag that into there. Save it. You have to save it to see the updates. So there's our value. We can adjust that and adjust the glossiness of it. So let's move it down, something like that, and tone the specular down. It starts to look something more like brick. And these default values, these values are in everything, so if I want to change the overall color, I could multiply it by that color easily. Same with specular. So that's it for this simple shader creation tutorial.